Well, with the holiday season in full swing, more people hitting the road, it's important to discuss the dangers and impacts of distracted driving. So joining us to discuss how we could put the brakes on distracted driving and some results from a new educational guide, we've got Joanne and Ryan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yes, absolutely. Let's start with this question. Can you tell us about the different types of distracted, drivers that we're facing?
Sure. You know, with 48 million Americans on our roads this holiday season, we felt it was the perfect time to put out a guide called the Every Seconds Matter. It was an educational guide with tips and strategies to help reduce distracted driving. So distraction is considered any activity that takes your mind and your eyes off the road. So obviously texting, phoning, drinking, eating, putting on makeup. We find people actually shopping online, actively buying online purchases while they're driving. And so this kind of behavior really is critically important to understand why it's so dangerous on our roads out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Would you say the pandemic impacted distracted driving? And then what tips do you have to combat that?
Yeah, with the pandemic, we saw less miles driven, about 3 trillion miles less driven on our roads. You know, people were more risky. And so we had a 16-year high in 2021, a 16-year high of fatalities, even though miles driven was down. And so those tips we have are, you know, set your do not disturb before you start your journey, put in your GPS before you start your journey. And then, of course, there's also some telematic programs out there that a lot of insurers offer to help monitor real-time your driving performance.
Yeah, great segue here. Ryan, tell us how telematics programs are helping promote safer driving.
Yeah, when we think about roadway safety, there's a number of different tools that are employed to help make sure that people get to where they're going without getting into a crash. Obviously, the most predominant that we're all aware of is enforcement, and nobody wants to be pulled over and get a citation for being outside of the limits of speed or otherwise. One thing that's really important to understand, though, is the insurance industry is actually offering a number of incentives for drivers to actually show their safety. And these programs are telematics programs. They're offered via apps that are downloaded by the insurance company to the consumer. And these are completely opt-in. And when drivers opt in, they're saving anywhere between $200 plus on each individual policy renewal, every 6 to 12 months, getting $200 back for demonstrating your safety, just simply by not using your phone while you drive, not going over the speed limit, and keeping enough distance so you don't have to hard brake. And all these incentives are critical. This is actually, when drivers opt into these programs, they are 3 times safer than drivers that do not opt in. And this is critical to help all individuals stay safe, but also at the same time put a little bit of more money back into your pocket.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Where can we go for more information on any of the things you've talked about with us today?
Sure. Go to travelersinstitute.org and also cmt.ai to learn more.
Great. Thank you so much. Really timely to have that interview this
We've got budding teenagers that
Yes.
are driving and learning how to drive. And so as parents, I'm nervous.
Purchases?
Sure,
I know that
sure.
that terrifies me.